Hey Scorpio, how are you? This is Allie, and I'm so grateful that you are here and that we are going to check in together and spend this time together to just see what is going on with you and what Spirit and your Spirit team want you to know. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you've been taking good care of yourself. And I really just feel called to kind of jump right in here. So first, let me invite you, if you feel called, to take a deep grounding breath with me so we can center our energy, connect energetically, and just be open to receive whatever messages that Spirit has for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this deck by Violet Aveline to get one card to see what the overall energy is for you in this reading, Scorpio. And, I set the intention that this can be your sun, moon, or rising, whatever resonates more for you here. And it doesn't matter when you found this reading. If you clicked on it and felt drawn to it, then there will be a message here for you. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit team of those here in this space together. What's the overall energy of their reading, please? Actually, I feel very drawn to that card. Temperance. Interesting. Balance, solving problems, committing to something. And at the bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Wands, too much responsibility. I'm really, drawn to the fact that both of these cards have this very vibrant pink energy. It's not a calm color. It's a color of movement. I split the deck to the sun. But it's also, counterbalanced here, I guess you could say, with this blue. And I remember when I worked in nursing still in psychiatric facilities, they would have, they were very intentional with the color. They would paint certain rooms, and it was lots of blues and greens, and there was some study done on how that color in particular really helps calm down nervous systems and agitated energy. So there might be something about color theory coming up here for you if you've been called to that, working with that kind of blue-green energy more, wearing it more. Maybe you might feel called to paint a room in your house that color. But there's something about that coming through, that color in particular. When I think of that color also, I think of our throat chakra. And also the higher heart chakra is kind of a turquoise color. So there may be something going on here for you where you're feeling really called to speak your heart's truth. Okay, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you have a story to tell. Maybe you have songs to write or poems to write. I kind of see you with a platform, using your voice and getting across a very heart-centric message that can speak and resonate with a lot of people right now. And so you may be feeling called at this time, especially with so many planets in Aries, to be balancing a lot of energy, juggling a lot of plates, and then finding the balance within all that. Finding a balance and committing to multiple things at once. And so, I'm getting like your family, your friends, your home, your business, your passion projects, and just finding a rhythm. for all of those things. Can we have more messages? Thank you. Oh, look at that. 6 of Wands. You're going to do it. You're going to figure this out, Scorpio. You're going to find the balance. You might already be in the midst of finding it. And I feel like you're going to feel, thank you. Look at that. Ace of Swords. Wow. You're going to find your rhythm. You're going to feel very liberated is the word that I'm hearing. Maybe from your own demons, your own, things, look at that were weighing you down, imbalances in your own energy. And I want to check the cards here because I almost felt like something turned around but didn't come out. I couldn't quite tell. I don't see anything. So, yeah, let's get one more. Let's get one more card here, Spirit. Thank you. Look at this. All these things that you have wanted to find a balance in are it's coming into fruition for you now. There's like this lightning bolt of, I don't know, energy, clarity, of knowing how you want, and we have the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. That's crazy. Let's just look and see what this was. Your past energy is death. So there's something about the last, 3 to 6 months of you kind of being in a chrysalis type energy, and you've come out of that in the last week or so, where it just feels like you're getting it, or you're getting the hang of it, or you're getting your ducks in a row. I don't know, like you're able to work through and juggle. I keep getting the image of somebody like balancing a bunch of plates. So you're finally in the flow of juggling a lot of things in a balanced way. And I think this is something you've desired for a long time, honestly. And things just felt too heavy and overwhelming and burdensome to make it work, to figure out how can I do all the things that I want to do? I'm too tired. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. Like the desire was there, but the willpower and the energy was not. And there must be something astrologically going on where it's like you've been a horse behind a gate and somebody opened the gate recently, and you've been able to just charge forward in a way that you've been so desiring to do. And it almost feels like the last several years I want to say it felt like a stuck energy, but also it was intentional, almost Saturnian. There was like your foot was on the gas and the brake at the same time. That Saturnian kind of, you have to pause, you have to wait, this is going to take time, you have to mature in all these other areas before we can let you take your foot off the brake, because there was a knowing that when your foot was off the brake, the other foot was fully on the pedal and it was going to be full steam ahead. So it was like this cosmic, divine, albeit frustrating, teacher almost, keeping you from running full speed ahead because they knew how important your work or all these plates you're spinning were going to be, and they wanted to make sure that you were completely and unequivocally ready. And I think the ready in question here was doing the internal work, which was very taxing, painful, challenging, difficult, exhausting, and not particularly fun. But I also think the reward of going through it is, you couldn't put a price tag on it. When I look at the Two of Cups here, it actually makes me think of the relationship you have with your innermost self and the you that's showing up here physically in the world right now. And there was this, I mean, that's kind of where you've been for the last hot minute, is healing a lot of old wounds, a lot of inner child stuff, and merging those two together in like this very pure and honest and healed way. So what I feel like you are stepping into is this, it's much lighter. It's not so burdensome. It's not so heavy. It feels very aligned. It feels really good. Like you're in the very beginning stages of realizing that you have balanced, you have mastered temperance. And it's very interesting that this candle went out, because I think that's the message here. You have mastered temperance in your life. And that's not to say you're not going to have moments where you screw up. We're human beings having a human experience. You're going to have moments where you lose your temper, or you drop a plate and it breaks, you know, one of these spinning plates, or, you know, it's a life's work. But I think you will know how to get back up on the horse. You'll know how to get a new plate spinning. You'll know how to get back on track without being completely derailed and defeated and just shutting down. So this feels very expansive, very exciting. And it really does feel like a win. It feels like a victory. I think you're just now seeing glimpses of this, truly. Let's see what else wants to come out for you. So what's up ahead, Spirit? What's up ahead for Scorpio? Now that they've really mastered this temperance energy, what is coming up ahead for them? King of Pentacles, are you kidding me? Wow. A lot, I mean, obviously, a lot of abundance coming in quickly. But there's this energy of just like real stability here. I feel like Taurus season is going to be incredibly significant for you. I think there's going to be a lot, I'm hearing a lot of resources, a lot of things coming in very quickly for you in Taurus season. I would literally almost put money on it. That's how confident I feel that message coming through. And we're not that far away from Taurus season, I don't believe. It could be in like 2 days. Okay, I'm recording this on April 19th. So, it could be tomorrow. I'm just saying the Taurian energy, with the Chariot of movement, things speeding up. Yeah, it feels like it's coming in very quickly. And so the stability aspect is what I was talking about. Something feels so stable. And that could be stable resources, a stable home life, as well as, interesting, the moon reversed, as well as a feeling that like you're not constantly living anymore with the fear of the rug getting pulled out from under you. I think you've actually realized that even if and when difficult and challenging things come up on your path, you know that you can handle them. You know you can weather the storm now. You know you've been through the worst, and now you know, okay, I can do this. I can handle it. Queen of Cups. Yeah, you have this intuitive knowing Your intuition is very strong, which you're a Scorpio, so that doesn't surprise me at all. But you have this intuitive knowing. I mean, it's interesting because they wanted the Queen of Cups upright, but the Moon to stay reversed. Because you can see through... Your discernment is on point. You can cut through the fog. You can see so much more clearly than you ever have been able to before. You can sense when things are up ahead. And that's not to say that you won't have things surprise you or catch you off guard in the future. But again, they're deferring me back to this Temperance energy, where now you know that you can handle any changes that come your way. You'll survive and you'll be okay. You've just done so much inner work that now it feels like the only thing left is for the outer world to reflect all of the work and harmony and balance you've cultivated in your inner world. And I see multiple things you have desired, been manifesting, wishing for, coming into fruition for you. It was kind of like you were the key all along. It's not kind of like, you were the key all along. Your willingness to do the work and to show up for yourself and to choose yourself, to break generational patterns and release toxic people and give yourself grace. I mean, all of these things and more are things that allowed this path that you're on and about to like fully step into be able to be made manifest. It was always you. And they're wanting you to really give yourself credit for that. Look at that. Ace of Wands. Yes. You know, give yourself credit for that. There are blessings upon blessings coming in for you pretty swiftly here. And you're deserving of all of them, but you know you're deserving of them now. There's opportunities that are about to be presented to you, and they're asking for you to say yes, as long as it feels aligned for you. But your discernment is top notch now. You've done so much work on that. There is a cycle that may have been 12 or 13 years long even that is ending, and you have a new one beginning. And so I'm also being called to just say, if there are any other positive habits that you want to really like lock in, to spend the next few weeks making it a point to really work on them, to do them every day, to practice them is what I'm trying to say. And I'm pretty sure they'll stick. Sorry, I heard a huge crash downstairs. I think everything's fine because I don't hear any screaming. My husband is with our kids, so they're not alone. But it was interesting because it kind of caught me off guard, but it also kind of solidified that message of take the chance to really like make a list of any positive habits that you're wanting to create and take action on them the next few weeks, because there's something about the alignment of planets that we have right now, or energies going on in the cosmos, and whatever's going on particularly in your own chart that will really help solidify any more positive changes that you want to implement in your life right now. Yeah, the World at the bottom. I mean, there is a cycle that is ending, and you have completed it, and you are, I honestly want to say you've already walked through the doorway. Now there's going to be many more doors presented in front of you that feel very expansive and exciting and positive. But this new chapter, you've already walked through the doorway, whether you fully realized it or not. It may have been kind of subtle, or you may have just woken up one morning and it was like, now you're doing the things and living the way that you've been beating yourself up on for years for not doing, and now you're doing it. And so I think this, maybe you woke up one morning and you've just kind of been moving differently, living differently in a way that feels very aligned for you. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out here. We might just pull an oracle card. Yeah, I do feel called. Oh. Let's pull an oracle card. I kind of feel called to this Work Your Light oracle. All right. Any other messages for Scorpio, please? Messages for Scorpio. Oof, didn't mean to bend that card like that. Messages for Scorpio. Messages for Scorpio, please. Thank you. Let's see what we have here. Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Yeah, that really doesn't surprise me, because the energy that you are living in right now feels, and I just saw 222 on my timer. The energy you're living in right now feels very confident, very, very leader-like, take charge kind of energy. And you, I mean, who would be better to lead than someone who has done all the work on themselves the way that you have? You know, when we were talking about the Queen of Cups and this intuitiveness, the Queen of Cups is very psychic. She's very in tune. She is the queen of discernment, of mastering her own emotions, of being able to feel deeply. When I think of a priestess, I think of the high priestess, obviously, and someone who is a seer, someone who has and can help find answers for others. So there's some way in your life that you're being called to step up and lead, whether that is doing readings like this, writing. It's very creative in some way. It's incredibly creative, and that's confirmed with the Ace of Wands. So this is like a big yes to whatever creative avenues you feel drawn to share your voice right now with others. They're asking for you to do that. Now, this is really interesting. Take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Okay, and we still have more of this pink energy. So there's really something going on here with that color for you, the pink. I think this is a reminder in all of this accomplishing, spinning plate, you know, making dreams manifest, to not forget the very important aspect of rest as an act of self-care, of self-preservation, of nourishment. This maybe isn't the best way to say this, but one of the plates you need to be spinning needs to be prioritizing breaks when you need them, because this is very fast, assertive energy that you're in right now. And I think even though you have mastered this temperance energy, there's always that risk of burning out or burning the candle at both ends. So when you feel called to take a break, take a break. Because I think maybe there's some part of you that might have a fear that if I take a break, because I think this has been a pattern for you in the past, if I take a break, I'm going to have difficulty getting started again. But I really feel like that is a past energy. And so don't be afraid to take a break when you need one, because it's just going to help you show up better for the people that you love in your life, for yourself, for all the things that you're working on, that you want to accomplish, that you want to share with the world. It is just as important as taking the lead as taking a break. This perfectly balanced energy. Okay. I want to get one final card here for you, and it is going to be an animal oracle. All right, this is one of my favorite decks. The energy that goes in the book that goes along with it is unbelievable. This is Medicine Cards by Jamie Sams. And if you don't own this deck, because you are a very psychic and intuitive person, I want to highly encourage you to invest in the deck and the hardcover guidebook that goes along with it. So final card here for Scorpio, please, Spirit. An animal. Animal that resonates. We got two. We have hawk, and I am not at all surprised to see hawk, because hawk, well, first of all, it has the same energy. I don't want to see what the other one is yet. I want to be surprised. Number 2 could be significant for you, which when you think of November, of course you could be in October, Scorpio, but still November is 11, 1, 1, 2. So there's, a loose connection there for me. But hawk can see. Hawk is assertive. Hawk is confident, is discerning, and maybe a little bit under the radar compared to something like an eagle, right? I love to see hawks. I have a lot of hawks in my area. I don't love to see them in my backyard because of my chickens, but I love this animal, and I think it's very apropos to see this in light of all that we have been talking about taking the lead and taking a break. You still have things going on even when you're taking a break, just like hawk is still looking around its environment, but it's not constantly hunting. It takes time to sit back and look at things. And we have lizard. This is really, really interesting, because lizard coincides with the suit of wands in the tarot. And lizards are quick, and they're also very intuitive. They're very, very smart. Yeah, I can never remember actually why lizard. I mean, I've looked this up umpteen times. My brain just does not retain it for some reason. But there's some reason that lizard is associated with the wands. So if you feel called, maybe look that up, because it's coming up into my mind, and I'm incredibly sorry. I do not know why my brain won't retain why lizards. So that's interesting. Maybe one of these two animals resonate with you. Maybe you see them frequently. Maybe you'll start to see them more. And yeah. So I think that's what I have for you. I feel like I should be going on. Maybe I should. Maybe I should look this up real quick. Let's just see what Lizard says in this guidebook, because I was going on and on about it. Let's see. Lizard, dreaming. Lizard sat lolling in the shadow of a big rock, shading himself from the desert sun. Snake crawled by, looking for some shadow to coil up in and rest. Snake watched Lizard for a while as Lizard's eyeballs went side to side behind his enormous closed eyelids. Snake hissed to get Lizard's attention. Slowly, Lizard's dreaming eyes opened and he saw Snake. "Snake, you scared me. What do you want?" Lizard cried. Snake spit his answer from his forked tongue. "Lizard, you are always getting the best shadow spots in the heat of the day. This is the only big rock for miles. Why don't you share your shade with me?" Lizard thought for a moment and then agreed. "Snake, you can share my shade spot, but you have to go to the other side of the rock, and you must promise not to interrupt me." Snake was getting annoyed. He hissed, "How could I bother you, Lizard? All you are doing is sleeping." Lizard smiled knowingly. "Oh, Snake, you are such a silly serpent. I'm not sleeping, I'm dreaming." Snake wanted to know what the difference was, so Lizard explained, "Dreaming is going into the future, Snake. I go to where future lives. You see, that is why I know you won't eat me today. I dreamed you, and I know you're full of mouse." Snake was taken aback. "Why, Lizard, you're exactly right. I wondered why you said you would share your rock." Lizard laughed to himself. "Snake," he said, "you are looking for shade, and I am looking for shadow. Shadow is where the dreams live." Lizard medicine is the shadow side of reality, where your dreams are reviewed before you decide to manifest them physically. Lizard could have created getting eaten by Snake if he had desired. Lizard is the medicine of dreamers. Whether dreamers smoke you or dream you, dreamers can always help you see the shadow. This shadow can be your fears, your hopes, or the very thing you are resisting, but it is always following you around like an obedient dog. If Lizard dreamed a space in your cards today, it may be time to look and see what is following along behind you. Is it your fears, your future trying to catch up to you, or is it the part of you that wants to ignore your weaknesses and humanness? Lizard may be telling you to pay attention to your dreams and their symbols. Make a dream log and record all that you remember. Be sure to pay attention to each individual symbol or recurring pattern. If you do not remember your dreams, you could try setting a music alarm for 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Or you could try drinking a lot of water before bedtime and allow your bladder to wake you up. Dreams are very important. Pay attention to them. And then the little poem here says, "Lizard, will you dream with me, travel across the stars, beyond the place of time and space, there live visions from afar." So this is interesting because I do think with this Queen of Cups and this Priestess energy, there is, oh, look, Messenger is Hawk, a message about paying more attention to your dream state, keeping a dream log or journal. There may be something that your shadow self or even just your higher self is wanting to communicate with you that is too difficult to convey in your waking life. It might also be a call to meditate more. And I would really strongly encourage you to do that. I know it's difficult for us to make time, but the take a break card right underneath that, as I say this, I think that is, yes, prioritize your sleep, do what you can to remember your dreams, and meditate more would be really great things to focus on as well. I'm not going to read all this with Messenger because I just don't feel called to, but it does talk about how Hawk is a messenger, and it's asking you to use the abilities that you have, the gifts that you have. Remember that all gifts are equal in the eyes of Great Spirit. So even if you feel like your gifts, don't downplay the gifts that you have. You do have very unique and beautiful, specific gifts that are meant to be shared with the world. And now is really the time to do that. So I feel called to leave the reading here. I hope that this helped you in some way. I hope it brought you some clarity, some peace, some enlightenment. I'm really excited to see what's ahead for you, because it seems like, especially in Taurus season, there's a lot going on. A lot of abundance and just a lot of wishes that you've had are finally coming into fruition, it seems. And you're very deserving of this. You've been waiting a really long time. You've done a lot of hard work. And I'm so excited for you. You have a lot of really cool things coming up ahead for you, Scorpio. So that is where we will leave it. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. If this resonated for you, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and connect with me if you feel called to let me know how. If you're ever called for, if you want to book a personal reading with me, my readings are open, and you can find all that information in the description box below, or you can go to my website at theseaowl.com. But more than anything, please take excellent care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye.